In late September, Donald Trump promised to send the National Guard into Memphis after doing the same exact thing in Washington, D.C. By the time October came, he made good on his promise. And of course, people were concerned, especially many black mayors across the nation. Mayors in D.C., Baltimore, Chicago. The arguments were, hey, violent crime is coming down in comparison to the years past. And this is true. Violent crime typically has gone down in many of these black cities, but it didn't stop Donald Trump from sending the National Guard into Memphis. And of course, the criticism that came from the left, or the black left, was this was an act of racism. He's only doing this to black cities, and he's only doing this to basically become some sort of a fascist government state. And that's what you were hearing. But what those same people didn't expect was that something like this would go viral.
We human, whatever. But I will say thank you to Trump for bringing these National Guards and doing what they're doing down here in Memphis right now. You know, for the first time in 5 years. I've been in my home for 5 years. And for the first time, my kids have been able to play in the backyard and be able to do it comfortably. I haven't heard a gunshot in 2 weeks.
This particular content creator is named Dee Manning. Now, this lady obviously talks about in this video that she is not loyal to any political party. She's not concerned about that. But she did say this on the caption to her TikTok video. She said, just to be able to sit on my porch and not worry straight bullets is amazing. Make Memphis safe again. Hashtag Memphis. Now, this is a lady who is concerned about her children. She is concerned about her own safety. And I mean, she bought a house in this neighborhood, so it's normal to be concerned about the biggest investment that you would ever make in your entire life. However, that is not what happened with people on social media. This lady, who is a victim of Memphis crime, obviously was ridiculed. She was made fun of. And you guys don't understand that this kind of thing is a very, very common in Black America, where the victims are ridiculed for wanting change for their community.
When the sis in Memphis says she's grateful because the last 2 weeks it's been quiet, it's been peaceful, her kids have been able to play, and y'all have a problem with that, it's becoming real clear who the enemy is. When you put your politics above the safety of Black women and Black children, you have completely lost the plot. And the mayor of Memphis is a Black man. He's been in office since January 2024. He's had a year and 9 or 10 months to do what Trump did in 2 weeks.
She came to her defense. She's saying, listen, how are you going to come against her when we have a Black man who is a mayor? And yes, the Black man is Paul Young, okay? A guy who's been in office for 16 months. And according to her, he has not done anything. And yet the National Guard is making things safe. But this was even a stronger argument.
Wait, so let me get this correct. The National Guard was in Memphis for a little under a week, right? And you mean to tell me they made 272 arrests and found 71 illegal guns?
That's right. The National Guard took out more criminals in just a few days than what Memphis police was able to do. And by the way, they did this without working with the Memphis City Police. This was alarming. But wait, there's more.
And how often do Black women say, part of the reason we're not soft, we're not feminine, is because we always have to have our guard up. We don't feel secure. We don't feel safe. And here's this Black woman saying, for this 2 weeks, she and her children have been able to function in peace. And y'all are mad at her. Y'all are the enemy. Y'all are the enemy.
She goes on to say that it is ridiculous for people to come after this lady because it really shows who the real problem is in the Black community. And this is something that we're going to figure out in the rest of this video. And this is a real big problem in Black America, because if somebody comes and cleans up the mess that we were supposed to clean up, you'd be surprised at how many people do not want change. People would rather be loyal to their politics than to be loyal to the safety of men, women, and children in Black America. Fast forward. Atlanta is not as dangerous as Memphis, but it does have its problems. It is the most influential city in the South and one of the most influential cities in Black America. And Atlanta is uniquely different for this problem.
I see a lot of people, they be calling me, asking me like, oh, what's a good area to live at in Atlanta? And honestly, nowhere. If you're looking at the crime rates and you're trying to figure out where you're going to stay based off the crime rates, stop. Okay, just stop. My mother lives in Buckhead across from the Huntley. A lot of people know where that is. A lot of celebrities live in the Huntley, and you can see the Huntley from my mother's balcony. And a block away, somebody was murdered in the middle of the street.
Now, I've never been to Memphis, but what I typically hear about Memphis crime is that it's typically contained in certain areas of the city. I've heard about North Memphis. I've heard about South Memphis. What I have not heard about Memphis is a lot of crime in some of the more exclusive areas. I mean, obviously, I've heard about things happening on Beale Street, but as far as the upper middle class neighborhoods, I typically don't hear that. But the difference with Atlanta is it tends to be dangerous from what I hear in all the places, even in expensive sections of the town like Buckhead. And this is something that this young man is mentioning. And not too long ago, a lady went viral in Atlanta for mentioning this.
So I want to say, before y'all start dragging her or anything, just think about what you're going to say, because y'all dragged me for 2 years on TikTok, the Shade Room, the news, and every Facebook, everywhere else that video was posted. I laughed about it because I don't take stuff seriously, but she's already going through a hard time losing 1,100. The last thing she needs is for y'all to troll her or come at her sideways or try to act like she's dumb, because she wasn't dumb. She was just trying to be considerate and trying to be kind.
This lady went viral all over social media. Now, there's a situation, and I believe it's now happening in Memphis, with the so-called water boys. These are young kids who are what it seems to be hustling in traffic, and they're coming up to your windows asking you, do you want to buy water? And at first, people were just supporting these kids, giving them some money because they were trying to work. But what has happened now is that some people don't carry cash, and then some people are giving these kids, their cell phone. And instead of them, putting in $1 or $2, they're putting in $1,100 or $200 and using your Face ID to scam you. And this is something that's really unsettling, because a lot of people are just trying to support these young Black men or these young kids and trying to help their entrepreneurial career. That's what it is, right? They're just trying to help them. But in the city of Atlanta, there's nothing being done to get rid of these water boys. They are not trying to basically stop these kids from doing this. And I know that every water boy may be doing this, but this is something that's happening. But do you know what else is happening?
I give any money to the water boys. They just stole $1,100 from me, sent $1,100 from my Cash App to theirs. I literally had $2 on there. They changed it and sent $1,100 to them. It was a lot of boys on a scooter, on them damn Lime scooters, but that's okay. I got the police right here. I hope them, y'all, somebody need to put them hoes under the jail. $1,100, bitch.
This is another lady that was hit with a water boy scam, and she was ridiculed, just like the other lady. Again, these are women who have been victims of the same things that we see happening in the city of Memphis. And then you have Blacks, okay, who are supposed to be in the Black community calling out racism. But when it comes to holding these pookies accountable, they don't have anything to say. And again, it's cowardly. Listen to what I'm saying. It's cowardly to do something like this to women. I don't give a damn what you say, all right? If people are out there scamming women, especially women that are trying to help these young Black youths, it's terrible. And to defend this is completely obnoxious. And that's why this guy went viral for saying this.
This message is for Team Trump and the National Guards. Come to Atlanta. Come to Atlanta. Come to Atlanta next. I know y'all done cleaned Memphis up. I see so many videos of the Memphis motherfuckers happy. And as a homeowner, as a working man, as an entrepreneur, come to Atlanta. I beg of you. Get these YNs off these streets. Get these water boys off these streets. Come on. Because these males ain't doing yet. These motherfuckers doing shit, Trump. Come to Atlanta. National Guard. Come on. Get these young out of here. Get these white ends out of here. Come on. Come on. National Guard, I see the work you doing in Memphis. I'm not one of them niggas. I'm a black man. I'm not a I'm a black man. I ain't like these other. I don't give a about all that what the niggas say. I care about me walking outside while walking my dog without having to walk with a goddamn pew.
This guy is asking Donald Trump, please send the National Guard into Atlanta. And he mentions the same things that these other ladies are mentioning in the city of Memphis. Now, he doesn't know these people. He probably never watched their videos, but he's mentioning some of the same things that are important. Number one, the current black leadership has done nothing to protect the community. This is an older black man, and I'm pretty sure you have younger blacks who feel the same way. He doesn't feel that he can go outside and he needs to have a gun just to walk down the street. I mean, it's the same thing that this woman is saying. And I'm going to tell you, I lived in Poland, and Poland had a certain level of racism towards blacks. But one thing I can tell you about living in Poland, at any given time, I could walk outside of my house at 4, 5, 6 in the morning, never fearing any sort of danger, never fearing for my life. You know, and that was something that was very, very interesting. I can go out at any time of the night and not feel anything, despite knowing that Poland could be a place where it was prejudice. All right. That was something that I knew. But imagine living in Atlanta, spending a lot of money for a home in the community, and you feel unsafe. And then the leaders that are talking about what they're going to do don't produce. And then when somebody wants to come in and fix it, that person is now considered to be a racist. Let me let you in on a secret. If that person who is a racist would come in and clean up the crime, and that person doesn't have to experience that, I'm going to tell you, it's going to come a time where that person don't give a damn if that person is racist or not. Woo! The real problem they're going to have is with you. You want to know why they're going to have a problem with you? And I'm talking to people that's on the black Democratic left or liberal left leaning, because you don't provide the solutions to these people in the black community. So they're not getting anything with you. In other words, we're tired of you. All right. We've been voting for you in Detroit. We've been voting for you in Chicago. We've been voting for you in Memphis. And every time we vote for you, you give us nothing. And then once we see some element of change and we want that for our kids and family and our investment, all of a sudden, we the problem, okay? And see, this is why so many black people, especially in black America, start becoming the quote unquote raccoons. Because in order for you to be a pro-black or you to be down with the cause, you by nature have to defend black dysfunction. It's the same thing that goes on in the Pan-African community. You know, we deal with scammers, we deal with liars, we deal with people like Dr. Umar who take advantage of people. And if you call him out and blame him for the things that he does, all of a sudden you a CIA agent, you work for the white man. And the only way to really be concerned with the black struggle is to defend everything that somebody does that harms black people that don't make no damn sense. And if you can't blame it on the people that are committing these crimes, then let's go out there and blame white supremacy. Now, I want to just talk about this. White supremacy is real and real indeed, but everybody has a choice. We had white supremacy in the 50s and 60s when blacks were really struggling in this country and really didn't have an opportunity. But you know what? We could not excuse that for acting a fool, okay? Your parents still taught you what you're supposed to do. We have more marriages. We don't have something that we had back then, which is accountability, which means that I can control myself. My circumstances don't define me. That doesn't give me the right to go out here and tear up people's stuff or to tear up stuff of my community. That don't give me a fundamental right to do that. But what happens now is that these black people who want a better life for themselves in safety and enjoy their own neighborhoods and enjoy their kids, these mothers and some of these men, we saw a brother that was talking about that. No, all of a sudden they are wrong. And every time I saw a person that was, appreciating Donald Trump for bringing the National Guard in. That person was a raccoon or that person was an agent. You know, it wasn't like that person was talking down on the black community. It wasn't like that person was saying that white people are smarter or blacks are silly or blacks are lazy. That person wasn't stating that. Their argument was the National Guard is making our community safe and we like it, which means the National Guard can do it. Our mayors in our city can do it, but they don't want to do it. And we've been pleading with these people to make things happen in our community, and obviously they don't want to do it. So please, Donald Trump, can you come to Atlanta? And do you want to know what that means? Without white people, black people cannot solve their own issues.
Damn.
That's pretty much what they're saying. If you don't come out here, Mr. White Man, we're not gonna have the ability to solve stuff for ourselves. And you already heard what the sister was saying in the beginning. She called out specifically black male political leadership for not doing anything to protect black women, which means that whatever these men say or politicians say, we can't believe it because they are liars. And what happens is that people who live through this turmoil, people who live unsafe, they eventually sell out to the other side. And once they start talking like Candace Owens or start talking like Officer Brandon Tatum, then you're going to call them a sellout and all of this. But no, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Sometimes we create our own sellouts. And that's not even my own ideology. I want to give a shout out to Brother George Macon on the Street Media channel. He said something I will never forget. We create our own raccoons. And until Black America want to put their face to the mirror and understand that, what we don't do, this is going to be a problem. There is no way that people in the black community should be asking for the National Guard to come in and stop crime when you have these black mayors who already said they were going to do that. It's incredible. Then he comes in and all of a sudden the Pookies don't want to come outside. It just goes to show you that you guys had the power to do it the entire time and you don't do it or you're incompetent. And I'm gonna tell you like this, a lot of black leadership is incompetent. Nobody wants to deal with it. People are tired and people are going to start looking for other solutions. And unfortunately, they're not gonna care if that person is going to be racist or not, because you know what? If that person can keep their kids safe, if that person can keep the streets clean, if that person can make situations where there's more investment in their community, self-preservation is going to work over political affiliation 100% of the time. Because all they gonna see is, yeah, I'm Democrat, but I can't go down the street at night. Yeah, I'm this, but I can't do this. What do you think eventually will happen? So guys, we think it's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We out.